Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashakaya Chakshorunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Mahyam Rudati Sapadantikam Vandeham Sri Gurum Sri Tapatakamulam Sri Gurum Vaishnavamsya Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Prijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Svaganalita Sri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Chapatitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Gadadhar Sivadadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna, dear devotees. So today we are going to do 1826. So this 18th chapter is basically a summarization of different chapters, different shlokas, different modes of material nature. And I was just going through, give some prelude here. The 8.24, starting from 8.24, I'll summarize a few points from 8.24, 25, then we'll go to 26, okay? The 8.24, Krishna Bhagavan is telling here that translation, but action performed with great effort by one seeking to gratify his desires and enacted from a sense of false ego is called action in the mode of passion. Okay, so I just want to give like 2-3 minutes here. The what is that 18.4 here? Sri Prabhupada, Lord Sri Krishna beautifully explained 18.4. Here is the sense enjoyer. He wants to enjoy the result. If you look at here, but action performed with great effort by one seeking to gratify his desires. Gratification, sense gratification. We talk often, a lot of times, what is sense gratification? To enjoy oneself, independent of Krishna, that's called sense gratification. But one word here is bahulasyam. Bahulasyam, in the shloka it explains, bahulasyam. Bahulasyam means very ambitious, very ambitious. But that ambitious is not for the one's spiritual development. That is purely enjoy result independent of Krishna. That's why it's called sense gratification. We know that everybody is ambitious today. If I am ambitious too, everybody is ambitious. Everybody who works all over the world is very ambitious to achieve something. To achieve something, hey, let me do this. I want to do so. That is 100% rajasic, basically. That means, why did you, for example, a lot of people we have, hey, why don't you work with your dad? You have the dad business, good business. People say, no, I want to stand up on my own legs and I want to do something. I want to prove something to this world, blah, blah, blah. And it says that, hey, you want to stand on your own legs, but where did you get your legs? Father has given those legs. Right? And you forget that I want to stand by, if you want, you can get your own legs. It's not possible. So same way that here, that person who thinks this way, Prabhupada explained in this translation, action performed with a great effort, one seeking to gratify his desires and enacted from the sense of false ego. That, we all know that ego is good, but false ego is not good. The false ego is like, basically, I am the controller. I am the control. Is called the mode of passion. And my spiritual master always says that a person, as the world is moving according to our desires, everything is going the way we think, we plan, we think we are the controllers. The moment it's upside down, then we start complaining, what happened to me? What happened to me? That is where the spirituality kicks in. A lot of people, as long as things are going well, things are going fine in my life, I don't need a God because I am the God. But when things turn around, then we turn towards Some people go other way around. They become drunkard, they become, manashanti, shanti ke liye, do all of nonsense things. But some people come to even Krishna. That's what Krishna says in the 4 type of people come to Krishna. One who is also in deep distress. This happens. Okay, that's about the 24th shloka. Then we'll go to 25th shloka here. Prabhupada explains that, translation by Prabhupada ki jai. That action performed in illusion, in disregard of scriptural injunctions. Look at this. In disregard of scriptural injunction and work performed in illusion, and without concern for future bondage or for violence or distress caused to others is said to be the mode of ignorance. I can quote so many examples here that action from illusion. Illusion means, this is one of the inherent qualities of Kali Yuga. What are the 4 symptoms of Kali Yuga? Anybody on the call? 4 inherently involved in Kali Yuga?
Imperfect senses.
Absolutely. Imperfect senses.
Cheating propensity.
Cheating propensity. Committing mistakes.
Committing mistakes, yeah.
And cheating propensity. Cheating.
Finding fault.
Illusion. Yeah. Illusion, cheating propensity, imperfect senses, committing mistakes. These 4 are inherently there in Kali Yuga. And to overcome, I'm just giving a solution. Anybody want a solution for these 4? I recently found it. The solution is reading Srimad Bhagavatam every morning, 30 minutes, and you'll be coming to reality, who you are and what your relationship to Krishna. So, Prabhupada and so many, my spiritual master said that by regular attendance, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, Bhagavati Uttama Shloke, Bhakti Bhavati Naishtiki, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Every day, every minute, Bhagavata Sevaya. When you come to that part, then you'll be out of illusion. The action performed in illusion disregards scriptural injunctions. Okay? But because we disregard scriptural injunction, we fall into illusion. So the solution is reading Srimad Bhagavatam. Without concern for future bondage or violence or distress caused to others, you take some action, it causes distress. Because of you, somebody is suffering. That is the mode of ignorance. Okay. So I'll give a small example here. For example, Anubandham means consequences. In the shloka, it explains Anubandham. What is that? Anubandham means consequences here. Okay. So here, whenever you start some work, for example, intelligent man sees what will be the consequences of it. Intelligent man sequence. If I am doing something, what are the consequences? Is it going to cause some damage, some harm to other people, or I'm going to bother somebody? How it influences the society? That one has to see. That's the first thing we need to see whenever you start work. Second is Kshayam. If my activity ultimately going to lead to a destruction, I should not do that. Right? That's the second thing. Third one is Himsa. If my activity is influenced by violence, then I should not perform that activity. Okay? The last one is Paurusham. Paurusham means one's ability to do the job. If I don't have the ability to enter into that, I should not. Otherwise, I'll create a chaos everywhere. Disorderness. Now, all these things fit to whom today? Anybody? Who does all this type of works? Nowadays, scientist. Prabhupada says scientist. Prabhupada, remember saying scientists are rascals. Prabhupada beautifully says that word. Scientists are rascals. They don't know anything what they're doing. So Paurusham, sir. So scientists. So Anubandham, when atomic bomb invented, who invented atomic bomb? Anybody on the call? Science quiz.
What is the question, Prabhuji?
Who invented atomic bomb?
Niels Bohr.
Niels Bohr. Probably. I don't know, Prabhu. I'm asking questions. Niels Bohr, Bohr's theory, Bohr's atomic theory.
There were 3-4 of these scientists. One was, I think, Niels Bohr. That's Skunk Works team.
Right. Because Bohr's atomic theory is there, right? I remember reading it. Yeah. So when atomic was invented, it did not know the consequences of it. Right? and and that's for the Kshayam, and it's destroying, and Himsa result in violence. And Paurusham, he has no ability, but he had gone and did that. Okay, in our Bhagavatam, who did that similar kind of bomb? Left it on somebody. Ashwatthama.
Brahmastra, yeah.
Ashwatthama. He did not have the ability to withdraw Brahmastra, right? So we should not do that act. I'm just giving examples. Ashwatthama, then he left it and he didn't have power to withdraw. It went and started chasing mother. Who is that? Mother?
Subhadra.
No.
Uttara.
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 Uttara. Pahimam, Pahimam. When Krishna about to go to Dwarka, he was in the chariot. Mother Uttara coming running. There's a nice sloka in Bhagavatam. Pahimam, Pahimam. Hey Rakshamam, you're the only protector of my child in the womb. Then what happens? He becomes Anguliya. There's nice slokas. He becomes Anguliya. And he goes into the mother womb and protects Parikshit Maharaj. Right? I think reading this 19th chapter, how Parikshit Maharaj, when he was cursed by a Shringi, Brahmana, Samika Rishi's son, Shringi, and Maharaj Parikshit was saying, all the people from all the planets, Rishis comes, and his folded handly is saying that Krishna protected me when I was in my mother's womb, and now I got such a great benediction from Lord Sri Krishna that I was cursed by Brahmana Bai, and Supreme Lord himself came in the form of a Brahmana Bai. I'm so thankful because I'm attached to this world so much, and that's why Sri Krishna came in the form of Brahmana Bai. He cursed me. I'm so thankful to Krishna. I'm so thankful to all the rishis who are coming here, and I'll take your permission. I'm going to fast until I die. He takes the permission from all the Vaishnavas and rishis, and he starts fasting and starts Krishna's glories. So those beautiful, beautiful shlokas in Bhagavatam. So that's what I'm saying here, okay? Something which violence creates, we should not do things. Now let's go to the shloka today, 1826, okay? Okay, 18, okay? Mukta sango naham vadi mrityu saha samanvitaha Sidya sidyo nirvikara karta satvika uchyate. Any Mataji's purpose want to recite shlokas? The beautiful shloka. One or two persons, please.
Mukta sango aham vadi rityu saha samanvitaha siddha siddho nirvikaraha karta satvika uchyate.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay, one Prabhuji.
Mukta sango naham vadi.
Mukta sango naham vadi.
Dhritya utsaha samanvitaha.
Dhrutya usaha samanvitaha.
Siddhi asidhyor nirvikaraha.
Siddhya siddhyo nirvikara.
Karta satvika uchyate.
Karta satvika uchyate. Okay. Translation by Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki jai. Repeat, everyone. One who performs his duty without association with the modes of material nature.
One who performs his duty without association with the more of the material nature.
Without false ego.
Without false ego.
With great determination and enthusiasm.
With a great determination and enthusiasm.
And without wavering in success or failure.
And without wavering in success or failure.
Is said to be a worker in the mode of goodness. Previous two shlokas I just summarized, mode of passion and mode of ignorance. Now we are coming to mode of goodness, which is a launching platform for the devotional practice, right? So, any volunteer to read the purport, please?
A person in a Krishna consciousness is always transcendental to the material mode of nature. He has no expectation for the results of the work entrusted to him, because he is above false ego and pride. Still, he is always enthusiastic, still the completion of the such work. He does not worry about the distress undertaken. He is always enthusiastic. He does not care for the success or failure. He is equal to both distress and happiness. Such a worker is situated in the mode of goodness.
Oh, thank you, Prabhuji. So beautifully Prabhupada writes purport. A person in Krishna consciousness is always transcendental to the modes of nature. What does it mean transcendental to the modes of nature? Anybody in the call?
Above these three modes.
Yes, absolutely, Mataji. It's above three modes of transcendental to the three modes, above three modes of material nature. Second chapter, what says? Traigunya Vishaya Veda, Nistraigunyo Bhava Arjuna. When Arjuna was so much depressed, right? Krishna says, Traigunya Vishaya Veda, Nistraigunyo, my dear son of Kunti, don't be under the modes of material nature. Because you're in the modes of material nature, you're thinking that way, I am this body, they are my relatives, etc., etc. Nistraigunyo Bhava Arjuna. Go above the three modes of material nature, and that is called Shuddha Sattva, right? Shuddham, Vishuddham, Vasudeva Tattvam. He has no expectations for the result of the work entrusted him, right? He does work as a duty, matter of duty. That's why we are all instructed to do our dharma, our duties. Prescribed duties, Prabhupada says that. And at the same time, no attached results. This is, again, goes back to third chapter, Karma Yoga. Nishkama Karma Yoga, Bhagavad Arstita Nishkama Karma Yoga. When we come to from Karma Yoga to Nishkama Karma Yoga, from Nishkama Karma Yoga to Bhagavad Arstita Nishkama Karma Yoga, from there, when you come to Bhagavad Arstita Nishkama Karma Yoga, then you are slowly entering into the pure bhakti process. And pure bhakti process, as Rupa Goswami explains, how is that? Anya Bilashita Shunyam. Jnana karma anadivritam. Anukula yena Krishna anushilanam bhakti uttamam. Bhakti. Because once you pass, they become the beyond these modes of transcendental modes of material nature, then you have nothing to be worried. And also there's one shloka in the future, it comes, I'll go there later. He has no expectations from the result of the work entrusted to him. He has no interest. He does as a prescribed duty. Again, I just want to give a fine print here that a Gruhastha Dharma we are, because I like to emphasize more on Gruhastha Dharma. Gruhastha Dharma, at least I want to say, there is no pure devotional service in the sense that we have desires, karma, right? Nothing wrong, because when you have family, kids, we have certain desires. Say somebody has to work, somebody has to do this, that. That is not like a pure devotional service, but it is called Gruhastha Dharma, is Karma Mishrama Bhakti, Jnana Mishrama Bhakti. But that is accepted by Krishna as well, because as we go one by one, the purificatory process kicks in. At some point, we'll become totally to the bhakti, 100% bhakti or pure devotional service. So he has no expectations for the result of the work. And what we do in this process, that we do what we want to do it, then we give results to Krishna. That is not pure bhakti, but Krishna is accepted. Krishna accepts us. So we, certain times, with the family obligations, we have to do certain things, but we still give results to Krishna. So that is also Nishkama Karma Yoga. Basically, Krishna, I'm doing because my family needs this one, but I'm putting you in the center and giving results to you. That is acceptable by Krishna as well, right? And the result of the work entrusted to him, because he's above false ego and pride. Such a beautiful false ego, above false ego. And that means that Krishna is the controller. That is what kicks in. False ego means I'm the controller. And ego means I'm the servant of the Lord. So above false ego and pride. There are 6 enemies, right? And does anybody know what 6 enemies on the call? Kama, Krodha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, right? All these things. Am I correct? Kama, Krodha, Moha, Madamascharya, these things, false ego, all these things, because we all have those, and the envy is one of them, right? And envy is the one which is the worst enemy, is a envy, because I was listening to one time Bhakti Char Maharaj class also. Envy is very, very difficult to overcome. Envy, because of envious nature only, we come back to this world again and again. And other five easy to control, easy to overcome, but envy is the one of the things which very, very powerful, which drags us down. And also, I heard that if you are too much envious, you know what you become in the next life?
Snake, Prabhuji.
Yes, absolutely, snake. You'll become a snake, too much envious. That's why this is not coming from a mental concoction or anything. This is the history. This is the information came from the different spiritual masters and Prabhupada, that envy is the one of the things, and this pride, all these things, in a way we can slowly avoid, but envious nature, and envious nature is very, very painful to get rid of it. So still he is, and also still he is always enthusiastic till the completion of such work. Though he's working false ego and without pride, and he's not expecting results. Sometimes what happens, when you don't see the result, you don't even act sometimes. Oh, I want to know what I'm going to get out of this. Nowadays, nobody works for free. Oh, I'm doing this one, what I'm going to get. This is a natural tendency. But when you come to the level that, I'm doing this work, results I give it to Krishna, and at that time also people are enthusiastic. That is the what you call mindset, consciousness, which elevate that. Though I don't know what results I'm going to get, but I'm still enthusiastic to complete the work. That enthusiasm picture has to be there. Our great Acharya Rupa Goswami even says in the Bhakti also we need two important things, right? What are that? Two things in Bhakti? Enthusiasm and
Dhairya.
Dhairya. Dhairya. The courage. I think one is enthusiasm. Other one is Dhairya. Probably I don't remember the second one what it is. So it could be right, Mataji. So the enthusiasm has to be there. Okay, enthusiasm to serve Lord Sri Krishna. Enthusiasm to complete what you're supposed to do, and he does not worry about the distress undertaken. Because, Mataji, what?
Is it determination? And
Absolutely. Determination and enthusiasm. Absolutely. Thank you, Mataji. Yes. Determination and enthusiasm. These two things have to be there for anything, any work, including our spirituality. Determination. I want to chant 16 rounds every day. I want to become I have to take a diksha from bona fide Acharya. And enthusiasm and determined. Enthusiasm should be there. Okay. And he does not worry about the distress undertaken. Okay, he's always enthusiastic. He does not care for success or failure. This is very tough nowadays, right? Because we want to know the result before we do an action. That's a problem. Success or failure doesn't matter. So he is equal both distress and happiness. Okay, is Krishna's will. Because Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes Dainya. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says Dainya means what? Accepting the will of the Lord. We question Krishna. Krishna, I'm chanting 16 rounds every day. Why did you to me? Only me. Why not my neighbor? Why not other devotee? We have that questions comes in. That is accepting the will of the Lord. Both had distress and happiness. Because in Krishna consciousness, there is no distress. Krishna is absolute. No distress. Everything is positive. The moment we accept even our negativity as a will of Krishna, and that becomes a really benediction for us. Parikshit Maharaj, when he was cursed by a Brahmana Bai, when the Brahmana Bai brings a message, okay, even Parikshit, when he was returning from after doing that act on Samikarush, is coming back, he was thinking, what a fool I am. Why did I do this action? Why act like that? I should get really punishment. The moment he came to his palace, the Brahmana Bai comes with the news. And when he gets the news, he did not say, I am a king of this whole entire creation. Why you are cursing me? No, he did say, he became a Dainya. He accepted the will of the Lord. And he jumped from his he jumped from his royal throne. He started dancing with Kirtan. Wow, what a great benediction I got today from Lord Sri Krishna. Krishna himself became a Brahmana, but he cursed me because I am attached too much to this seat. And thank you, Krishna. Thank you, Krishna. That's the will of the Lord, accepting. Distress or happiness doesn't matter. Such a worker is situated in the mode of goodness. Okay. And I have some notes also. Let me read that. I made some notes. Okay. In this call, Prabhupada, he doesn't get perturbed. The person who is in the Krishna consciousness or in the mode of goodness, he doesn't get perturbed. When he encounters failure after failure, right? And you'll be, well, usually what happens, you'll be okay a couple of failures, but if you repeatedly encounter failures, you'll be shaken, right? For example, in the economy, people are thinking about recession is going to come. Just economy in America shake, a normal recession they understand. But the problem with the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance is the mode of ignorance is living in the past, and mode of passion is living in the future, and mode of goodness is living in the presence. That's what Prabhupada says. Take one day at a time, depending on the Supreme Lord. Of course, we need to have plan, but not too much worried about the future. That's called mode of goodness. Okay, so that's what that person is called Satvika, who is in mode of goodness. So what I would do, I have quoted some of the evidences. Some of the shlokas from Bhagavad Gita. 518, I don't know why I choose this one. No, I don't want this one. 1854, we are going to read. This is also kind of Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma, Nashochati Nakamshati, Sama Sarveshu Bhuteshu, Mad Bhakte Labate Param. Right? And here, right, one who is thus transcendently situated at once realizes the Supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. Because, for example, our great Kadambaka Swami Maharaj, in the final stages, did you see any morose on his face? He's enjoying happily. Okay, and that's what yesterday Matwar was explaining in the temple. He's showing how successfully we can die. Vishwapita Maharaj showed, Parikshit Maharaj showed. This art of dying classes, devotees, not art of living, art of dying. Leaving anybody kutta bhi ji sakte hai. There's no, but how successful you die, that matters a lot. That determines your next destination. The destination, that is powerful it is. And here, a person in Krishna consciousness always transcendental to the material modes of nature. He has no expectations for the result of the work entrusted to him. Right? So, this shloka explains beautifully that the impersonalist achieving the Brahmabhuta stage becomes one with the absolute is the last word. But for the personalist, the devotee, one has to go still further to become engaged in pure devotional service. This means that one is engaged in pure devotional service. The Supreme Lord is already in the state of liberation, called Brahmabhuta, oneness with absolute. Right? A person who is situated in Krishna consciousness, there's nothing, no difference for him, whether he lives in this world or in the spiritual world, doesn't matter. Bhagavatam explains beautifully, Narayana parasarve nakutaschala vidyati swargeshu narakeshu apavargeshu tulyartha darshanam. Krishna, once I am yours. And for me, either you put Naraka or Swarga, it's your choice. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also beautifully explained, what is that? Mat prana anatastu sayevana para. My dear Lord, you are my Lord after Lord. You hit me, you kill me, you are my Lord after my Lord. That is only comes when you're a mode of goodness and beyond mode of goodness. Without being one is the Supreme, absolute cannot render service unto him. In the absolute conception, there is no difference between the server and the servitor. That is called partnership between Krishna and his devotee. Because Krishna never ever bear any kind of chastisement for his devotees. No, Krishna feels so hard. Some of his devotees are chastised. Because when you go to that level, that's why getting pure bhakti is not easy. Krishna doesn't give pure bhakti easily. Once you get pure bhakti, that's it. You will be taken care by 100% Krishna. We have seen Bilva Mangala Thakur. I love his Govinda Damodara Madhaveti by Bhaktivedanta Maharaj saying, what is that? How did he become? When Bilomangala Thakur was singing the songs, Krishna comes and watches his face like this. He's hearing very curiously. Krishna forgets he's a god. That's how pure devotional service. When you come with Krishna, Krishna becomes subservient to you at that time. He'll serve you at the same time when you serve him. That's why getting pure bhakti is not an easy. So we have to develop a mode of goodness, action. Even I am not a Paramahamsa sitting here telling the class. I have to imbibe, I have to get instructions from my own class also, because we are all grihasthas, we're entangled with so many things morning to evening, but we need to learn this. He was reading Bhagavad Gita every morning, reading Bhagavatam every morning, Gita. These things we should elevate our consciousness. We should become to the level where that we are not the controllers, accept the facts, and we are not the controllers. Controlled is Lord Krishna, Ishvara Parama Krishna, Satchidananda Vigraha, Anadiradir Govinda. He is there since time immemorial. Sarvakarana Karanam. A small ant cannot move without his permission. Then on top of that, we start to control people. Not only control people, we control the countries, we control the societies. We have no control on ourselves first. That's what Prabhupada taught us. Achar and Prachar. Right? And I'll just refer one more shloka. I was talking on, 8.3, no, not 8.3. Give me one sec. I'll go to third chapter. There's a beautiful shloka is in third chapter. I was talking this on last Saturday. I just wanted to section third chapter. Yeah, Karma Yoga. Totally it's Karma Yoga, right? I was doing 9th or 10th. This one. I think this is my famous shloka. Yajnartar karma no yatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha tadartham karma kaunteya mukta sangha samachara. Work done as a sacrifice of Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work causes bondage in the material world. When this bondage comes, in the mode of ignorance and mode of passion. In the mode of goodness also, there is a chance that, because every action is a mixed modes most of the time, but we try to have 80-90% of mode of goodness, because these are always mixed modes. But that only happens by reading this literature, understanding the consciousness get elevated. And then only we depend on Krishna. This material world, therefore, O son of Kunti performs prescribed duties for his satisfaction. We do for our satisfaction, because of sense gratification. Sense gratification. Right? In this way, you will always remain free from bondage. Because the reason for this is what even Mother Devahuti asked Kapila, his son. What is the reason for bondage in this world? What is the reason for suffering? He says clearly, my dear mother, bondage, bandhan. We all have bondages, right? But we need to say how we can bond it to Krishna. You see, everyone has a part and parcel of Lord Sri Krishna, including our spouses and our kids. When you come to that level, that we can be in a state of mode of goodness. Okay, so what else we have? Actually, what I would do, in 3 minutes, I'll stop. Then I would like to take the what you call feedback from other devotees, because I'm sure a lot of senior devotees here, they have more realizations than I do. So I just want to hear from them as well. So what is there? Yeah, 1854 completed. 7.5, I don't know why it took that. Oh yeah, this is basically what I'm saying here is that Prahlad Maharaj, yeah, I know I understand, it's Srimad Bhagavatam. Prahlad Maharaj is explaining so beautifully when he comes back from Gurukula, and Hiranyakashipu, being a purely materialistic person with a mode of passion and ignorance, is asking his son, my dear son, what did you learn from your teacher? Is a beautiful. There are two shlokas which I like. Is Sriviladu Matirna Krishne Paratasvatova Mito Bipityeta Gruha Vratanam Adanta Gobir Vishatam Tamashram Punaha Punaha Charvita Charvananam. He says. Prahlad Maharaj replied to his dad, because of their uncontrolled senses, persons too addicted to materialistic life make progress towards hellish conditions and repeatedly chew that which has already been chewed. Their inclinations toward Krishna are never aroused, either by the instructions of others, by their own efforts, or by a combination of both. How profound these statements are. Radhmari explaining. He's asking his dad, Matirna Krishna Swaratattva, my dear dad, people are Adanta Gobir, we are totally, Adanta Gobir means like a unfathomed well. And in the well, we have all the snakes and frogs biting each other, quarreling. We have our house is like that. How is it like that? And once you take up the Vishnu Bhakti, Krishna Bhakti, a house becomes Vaikuntha. Kunta means miseries. Our house becomes Vaikuntha by following three rules for the Gruhasthas. Okay, the three-point formula is that reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita every day in the house. Inviting the Vaishnavas is very essential. Okay, and third one is offering prasadam to, okay, either Radha Krishna, Ram, Sita Ram, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And that gives a, what you call, when you take antibiotics, the immunization comes. So our immunization is prasadam, offering to Krishna every day. Okay, so these are Prahlad Maharaj explaining beautifully that Adanta Gobir, because we have uncontrolled sense gratification developed over the time, and because of that we are not able to see. His dad, Hiranyakashipu, he's totally blindsided. He totally hates Krishna. But when son came, he said that, my dear dad, that's not the way to. There's one more shloka. What that says is, Tatsadu manye asuravarya dehinam sada samad vignam dehimadazgrufat hitvatmavatam gruhamandakupam vanam gatoet hari asrayet. He says, my dear, he doesn't even say my dear daddy, he says, my dear Rakshasi daddy, what are you doing? You are wasting your time. Vanam gatoet hari asrayet. Go to Vanam. In those days, Vanam. We don't need to go to Vanam. We have Vanam in our central New Jersey. We have a big Vanam. So he says that, go back and Hari Asraya, take the shelter of the lotus feet of Hari. That's the only solution. That's the only solution in this material world. So devotees, mode of goodness, very essential, because sometimes I'm not saying somebody, even including we become irritated, because oftentimes we forget that we think we are the controllers. But always reading this Shastra, hey, we are not the controllers. Krishna is the controller. Okay, that's the conclusion here. So I would like to stop here, and I would like to take the, what you call, I'm forgetting that word, reflections. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for a wonderful class. I like that idea, Prabhuji. You always engage everyone, like reading and reciting shloka and ask questions and answer, so that our mind also focus. Otherwise, we are doing our household chores and listening. Now we focus. So that's really good.
Even my Bhagavatam classes, I only stay there. I'm a facilitator. I ask them to read some shloka, read one paragraph, explain, because we have to develop the future preachers. Now we'll be gone some, but we are coming youngsters. We have to develop, and it's Prabhupada's mission. We have to develop more and more preachers.
Yeah. And one more thing, Prabhuji, like Jayaprakash Prabhuji posted that picture of Kadamba Kanak Maharaj.
Right.
So cheerful face, right?
Absolutely.
It's really amazing. Like we should learn that
Absolutely. Art of dying.
Art of dying, like really our parampara, and all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Absolutely. There is nothing. When we see them, they're glorious. They're waiting for their minute. They know where they're going.
Yes, that's why Yeah.
when you take a suitcase from the home and you call the auto rickshaw taxi and you say, I'm going to India, you're confident. But when you call, I don't know where I'm going, you sit in the car, you roam here and there, you're confused.
Yes.
Because we
Definitely.
know where we are going.
Yeah. Sure, Prabhuji. Yeah. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Wonderful. Hari Bol.
Very well. Ashish Prabhu, you're there. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, unmute and please, talk something about Krishna. When you talk, right, and your mind, your active, all senses get activated, you talk about Krishna. That powerful, the name of Krishna. Rupa Goswami said, if I had a mouth, I could have, he said that, I wish I could, when he is chanting Maha Mantra, Rupa Goswami said that, I wish I could have millions of mouths to talk the name of Krishna. And when hearing the name of Krishna, he said, I wish I could have had millions of years to name of Krishna. So you all have a great, sweet mouths. Please open and talk something about Krishna. 1 minute, one word about Krishna also helps you. It saves you from the greatest danger.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yeah, I know you had mentioned something about the atom earlier, right? So
Right.
I think the person who discovered the atom was a scientist called Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer.
After he discovered, he quoted something from the Gita. That Krishna's words are there, no? What? Death I am, destroyer of all the worlds. So even he was such a great scientist, and even he quoted the Gita.
Everyone comes to Gita, Mataji.
Correct.
Absolutely.
I think John Oppenheimer, right?
Robert, I think.
Robert Oppenheimer.
There is also uncertainty principle is there. Who's that? That's Heisenberg uncertainty principle. That's a different one. This is Robert Oppenheimer. Yeah. Even I think if you remember, I was a child, I read even Newton also. We have Newton, great scientist. Newton. I read in BSc Newtonian mechanics, thick volumes. But finally, he said one thing very profound. He said, the knowledge is like an ocean, and the control is the Supreme Lord. I am just picking a small bubbles around the shore, but knowledge is ocean. Supreme control is controlling. He's the one. So all, especially physics, chemists, scientists, ultimately they come back to Bhagavad Gita. That's why, our Brahma Samhita, Andantarastu Paramanu Chayantarastam Govindam Adipurisham Tamaham Bhajami. What a great Andantarastu Paramanu. Everywhere Krishna is present there. That is, modern science is coming slowly, that understanding.
True.
Thank you, Mataji, for confirming.
Also, Prabhuji, I heard somewhere like Jesus, he was traveling and he went to Kashi where he read the Bhagavad Gita, and after that only that Bible came. So when we read Bibles, lot of things like very similar to our Bhagavad Gita.
Absolutely.
So all the principles are same for all human beings, right?
Absolutely.
So I heard that he also read Bhagavad Gita and he just gave that instruction in his way.
That's why he had a relationship with Krishna.
That's why he's like, I'm not God, I'm son of the God.
Absolutely. He's a, what is it called? What relationship? That son parental relationship with Krishna.
Yeah.
And Muhammad has my friend he's a Sakya Bhava with Krishna.
Yeah, I'm the messenger only.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what Prabhupada beautifully, Hindu, Muslim, Christian, doesn't matter. We eating, sleeping, mating, depending. Or, if you get a disease, for example, if you have some disease, we see who's the best doctor cures. We don't know, he's a Hindu doctor, Muslim doctor, Christian doctor, right? We are all diseased in this material condition. What gives the best solution? We go and get it. Okay, anyone else on the call would you like to comment? Please, devotees, don't think that, we are something super. We are just normal. We are also trying to accumulate knowledge, and you all have experiences by chanting. You're all equally contribute here as well.
Prabhuji, I wanted to share something regarding envy.
Sure.
So I have always wondered and even personally experienced this, that, sometimes I used to feel, like I wish it was sometimes, this thought came to my mind that I wish I could serve like that person, every time I looked at the deities, being dressed so well. And so I never figured out what kind of a feeling is this.
Okay.
So I always kind of called it I said, this is my spiritual envy, but
Yes.
I could never ask anybody that question, because I always felt I wish I could dress up Radha Krishna like this. I wish I could serve like others are serving. I wish I could cook like others. So the other day, somebody on Preeti Laksna sent this quote of Gopal Krishna Maharaj, and he said, there are two kinds of enemies, and I'm sharing because it
Helps.
it coming from his mouth, it made it seem like it was an answer to my questions. And somebody else also might have this. So I just wanted to share, because we were talking about envy, how envy is bad. But he said that spiritual envy is good. And there are two kinds of envies, material envy and spiritual envy. So the spiritual envy is good. Even Vishaka and Lalita had it. So if Vishaka used to see that Lalita is serving Krishna better, she used to aim. So he said, this helps in your spiritual progress, because you want to do serve better than others, like Krishna, better than what others are doing. You try, to do as well as the others are doing. So I just wanted to share that, because, I have personally experienced it, and it really helped me.
You're on the right path, so you're not doing anything. Yeah, that came from a spiritual master, more powerful.
Yes. So it was very nicely explained, and I think, not only me, many people probably experience that, and they are thinking, are we being envious? Is it good? Is it bad? But when I heard from him, I'm like, okay, I'm not on the wrong path. I'm not doing something wrong.
Very nice. Yeah.
You listen to Amritandan Prabhu, you listen to Satyabhama Mataji singing so well, you're like, I wish I could do that.
Yeah, definitely. Nothing wrong in that. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. I wish I could sing, like that.
There is a one I heard a long time back, difference between envy and jealous.
Yeah, okay. Exactly. Yeah,
so jealous, I'll give us some crude example. Jealous is that, okay, my neighbor had 4 cars, let me have 2 cars.
Exactly.
And enviousness is I want to have 4 cars, my neighbor want to have 0 cars. Yeah. That's envy.
Yeah. So, but that thought never came, So I was like happy. That kind of thinking, I'm not.
No, even Devon says, okay, she doesn't have to serve at all. I want to serve. That kind of envy also we don't want to have it.
Yeah,
okay, she's serving. I want to also, I want to do better service than her. That is good.
Not even better, I want to serve along with her or learn from her, so I would say that.
Sure. Thank you.
Prabhuji.
No problem. Okay. Anyone on the call? Yes. Where is Amritananda Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisance, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you. Prabhu, I'll share with your permission. I have the seva of Sunday school teacher, and my children are 9, 10, 11 years old. So yesterday I started a new module of prayer. What is prayer? So it was explained that prayer is a communication with God. How currently we are talking. Communication is to express our feelings, what we are thinking. So when we do it with God, it's called a prayer. It could be one-on-one. It could be very formal, as in the deity worship. It could be congregational. Now, when you mentioned in your class, Prabhu, enthusiasm, patience, and determination. These three are the pillars which help us progress on the path of bhakti, actually on anything. But the glue which holds everything, or the power for enthusiasm, for determination and patience. I was reflecting on this, and yesterday what we were talking is, usually when we pray, we are always asking for this and that. And usually we run with a lot of intensity towards Krishna when there is some kind of a problem in our life. For example, when we are chanting, I can give you my example. When I'm chanting, the mind is so distracted. But if there is some illness in the family or something, that time the chanting becomes more intense.
Definitely.
Same thing, chanting. So usually we find ourselves in that situation. But if we get in the habit of being grateful, a grateful heart, when we start having that kind of gratitude towards Krishna, and there are so many things that we take for granted, but it is His doing. We don't even realize so many things. And if we reflect on that and we just say a small little thank you, then that typically our enthusiasm, etc., is intermittent. But if you have this level of gratitude, then it sustains it. The sustainability comes in. So that's what, when you were saying this, I was thinking about yesterday's Sunday school.
Oh, nice.
And I thought, thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you, Prabhuji. Ashish Prabhu, you have a question or you want to say something? Yes, Mr. Prabhu, see you.
Okay. Jai. Nothing else, dear devotees? Anything else to share?
Prabhu, if I can share one more thing, if it's okay.
Yeah, please go ahead.
It may be a little off topic, but it is related to Krishna consciousness. Earlier in the day, I wrote to Satyabhama Mata. She and Sundarup Krishna Prabhu recently had a celebration of their 25th anniversary.
Yes.
Wonderful program. And then in the offering that Prabhu made to Mataji and Mataji made to Prabhu. So that was pretty significant. Prabhu said is, what Mataji was saying is, Prabhu gets for me, different things. And whether or not I like it, I accept it. And that's what I was thinking vis-a-vis our Krishna conscious sadhana. We are doing so many things. We are offering Krishna, we are offering our japa, we do bhoga service, this, that, so many things that we're doing. And because of our conditioning, it is not always of the best quality or need not necessarily be something that Krishna would like. An attentive japa, classic case. But still, out of love, he accepts whatever little broken attempts also that we're making. So Mataji, of course, was expressing her love for Prabhuji by accepting, even if she doesn't want, she accepts it. So I was thinking this about Krishna. And the other thing is, you also mentioned it, Prabhu, some minutes back. Krishna doesn't keep a grudge and Krishna doesn't look at our faults. It hurts him when we fall down. it hurts him. He is always forgiving. So we ourselves, tomorrow, if someone does some little thing by mistake or even intentional, we bear such a grudge, and it's almost to the point of revenge or even take revenge in some way or the other. So just as we've been forgiven and all the time we are being forgiven, Mahaprabhu doesn't look at our faults. It becomes incumbent on us to, if at all we think someone has offended us, to say it's okay. He's also trying. Even I make mistakes. It's okay. Let's move on. So, thank you.
Forget and forgive. Thank you, Prabhu. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah. Thank you. So we will be celebrating Gauri Purnima on March 6th. This is a 2-day celebration. We'll be celebrating on Sunday as well as on Monday. Sunday, we will be having a 2-hour kirtan on Sunday, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. This is exclusively for Maharaj well-being, and we request everybody please participate so that we can chant together, pray together, and we are nothing, but at least we can, in our sincere effort, to pray to the Supreme Lord. Maharaj is going through very severe conditions. I think last few days its conditions are not so good. Madhuri Prabhu posted a update in a WhatsApp group. So please pray and chant whenever you chant, and pray and remember Maharaj's contribution and Maharaj how all these years dedicated. And these are the live examples that we all can take it in our life. It's so important. It's so important that how we can live and how we can live, LIVE and LEAVE. It's very important. So human form of life is just for that. And very rarely we get this human form of life. And somehow or other, we should engage in the service of the Lord and the devotees. That makes perfect. Otherwise, we lose. It's very important. And also, we'll be Gauri Purnima celebration part of. We'll be having a Nagara Sankirtan again on this Saturday, 12 o'clock. So we'll be doing it on Apna Bazaar because that's a good place and not much obstructions or opposing or kind of problems. Some places, sometimes we went to the, some time ago, we went to the Dana Bazaar on the people were complaining, or the neighborhood stores, they didn't like it and things like that. So please join on Apna Bazaar on 12 o'clock this Saturday. And this also will be chanting for Maharaj and Kirtan for Maharaj. And also we are commemorating the how Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started the Sankirtan the same way. And this also reminding us that we are part of the Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement and the mission. And we should always that keep on top of everything, because we are just the soldiers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's army of Sankirtan. Please join, find some time, and we can have so many excuses, but try some time for all these wonderful activities, devotional activities. It's really purifying. So many devotees comes and it's really purifying. And Friday is Ekadashi, and so we'll be having a class as well, and also there'll be Kirtan at the temple. So different ways that we can engage ourselves. And also on Monday is the actual Gauri Purnima. So we'll be having extended program on Sunday evening. There'll be a drama after the class. And then also we'll be having a Kirtan up to 6 o'clock. Monday we'll be fasting till moonlight. That's time the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. So it's a complete fasting, and I already booked my days off, March 6th. So please engage yourself in the service. There are a lot of services in the temple, and Sunday itself will be putting together all the setups and the decorations and altar decorations and inside the temple decorations. and various other services on Sunday as well. Monday as well for cooking. Jayaprakash Prabhu, you know what time you're cooking? Cooking starts?
Monday at 12, Prabhuji.
12 p.m. Okay, great.
Thank you,
Please.
Prabhuji.
The devotees, please join, and lot of selves we need. And I think Gara Purnima and Janmashtami is the time loads of devotees, lots of people comes, like thousands of people comes. So we really need help, a lot of help in terms of putting everything together, like, managing people, booths, stalls, serving prasadam, taking out prasadam, and in so many ways. Yeah. So we'll send out the list maybe after tomorrow or day after tomorrow, so that everybody can participate some way or other. Okay. Thank you so much. Anything else? Any questions? Anybody?
Prabhuji, when is the Kirtan for Kadamba Kanak Maharaj?
Yeah, that is on Sunday, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Okay. I'll be there, Prabhuji, for the seva.
Okay. Jai, Hari Bol. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. So there is a question on the question is that apart from chanting and devotional service, what are the actions that I should take it if I'm envious to Govardhan Bhakta Prabhu? This question is to you. Question is that apart from chanting and devotional service, what are the actions that I should take if I am envious to someone? Govardhan Bhakta Prabhu is there? Or he left? Okay. Ashish Karna Prabhu, right? Is the question from Ashish Karna Prabhu or Ashish Prabhu? Able to speak? Okay. So it's a Prabhuji.
Same Prabhuji, I think. Same Prabhuji.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So the best way to cut our enviousness, jealousiness is all the byproducts of our anarthas. Because of we are always putting ourselves in the center of everything. We have that always having this feeling of that I'm so great, or I'm sometimes better than other person, so I should get it, or other person should not have it. Some way or other, we always have this ego that I'm better than someone. I'm so great. I'm that. I'm this. I have richness. So if somebody else has it, so how is it possible? How is it possible? I don't have it because I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm praying, Lord. I'm so devotee. So many things. This is all comes from the ego. So how we can free from it? Even, yes, anarthas are there, even though we are chanting devotional service, it is in a very subtle form. That's the greatest enemy of us. In a very subtle form, it is there. So we should cultivate a consciousness of that we are the eternal or instrument of Krishna's hands. We are just an instrument here in this world. No matter what, whether I envy or not, things will happen according to the will of the Lord, not as per my will of the Lord. So we should cultivate a habit of appreciating others. So Srila Prabhupada mentioned this into the purport. If somebody has something, that is because of the mercy of the Lord, and because of Lord has some mercy on that person. So we should see everything as per the will and as per the mercy of the Lord. So if that is as per the will and the mercy of the Lord, we should definitely appreciate that God's, the hands on it, or God's, sight on it. Because of this is happening because of the Lord's will. So we should appreciate that. Whether I envy or not, nothing is going to happen. Only we can pollute ourselves. All we need to do is that we should have that appreciation nature. If somebody has something, we should appreciate instead of envying or jealousy. We should pray to the Lord, and we should be always that thankful for everything that we have. Many times our problem is we are so much of worries about what we don't have, and we never value what we have. When we never value what we have, then we will always hankering for more and more. And then that creates envy and jealousy and all the anarthas. So first of all, we have to be happy with what we have. Whether it is there or not, no matter what, it's going to go away. It's all temporary. No matter what, how long we are going to enjoy with it, but one day this all has to end. So there is no point of accumulating more and more, envying more and more, jealousy more and more, and because of this envy and jealousy and creating the arrogance and hatred and so many things, it happens to the mind, part of anarthas. So we should cultivate this greatest of the, the good quality of, first of all, seeing everything in the Lord's hands, because of Lord's mercy and the Lord's hands is happening, even any great things happening to other people. So we should see in that way. And then we should pray to the Lord and appreciate. When we appreciate that, basically we are appreciating the Lord's will, and we are actually in connection with the Krishna consciousness. The moment we envy is one of the demoniac qualities. That means we are having the demoniac qualities, or the demons are haunting us. So you should always remember this. When we envy of somebody, or somebody has something, somebody has, this one, that one, he should not have it, he is not qualified, he is not that, he is this, I should have it. And then, all this, the mixed feelings comes to our heart. So we should always try to appreciate and see God's hands in everything. This way, we can free from all these anarthas. Otherwise, the moment its demons or demoniac quality captures us, the demon is actually going to devour us and put it into the hellish conditions. Is it okay? You're not audible, Proji? Okay. Was it audible?
Yes, Prabhuji, we could hear it.
Okay, I think Sheshakarana Prabhu says not audible. Okay.
Oh, audible to me?
Maybe because of... Are you able to hear now? Are you hearing?
Prabhu, he has problem with his mic.
Oh, yeah.
The mic is on, but he can't be heard.
Can't hear, actually. That's the thing. Okay.
Very nice.
Okay. Okay, I hear you. Okay. Okay.
He can hear on YouTube again.
Sorry?
He can hear it, the answer of this question on YouTube, right? We are recording.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah.
Wonderful.
I think he has a problem with his mic, so he can't speak, but he can hear us.
Yeah. But what you said, Prabhuji, always appreciate others. It really helps, because when we appreciate others, our heart fills with proud, happiness inside. Oh, we at least we made someone happy.
Yeah.
And then enviness, it goes away, maybe slowly.
You should always encourage others, always appreciate, and always see good in others. If somebody has something good, that should please us, instead of having some mixed feelings of.
Yeah.
We should be happy that if see something good in others. If somebody is doing service, we should appreciate, and we should happy with it, rather than jealousy and envy of it. We should encourage, and we should also seek, guidance from them, such devotees and such people, how we can, and associate with such people. And so there are, many ways. Otherwise, the moment we have all these anarthas, it drags us down into the ocean of, suffering and miseries, because of we don't have that good quality. All these anarthas are demoniac qualities. But the moment we see good in others, it's a godly quality, it's a godly nature.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, what is the difference between, human and the demons? It's all same.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Yeah, very well. Wonderful. Yeah, that's why Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we should always have this quality of humility. In that condition only that we can chant the holy name properly. Humbler than a blade of grass, taller than a tree. We should always humble. Humility that, who am I, first of all? How long I'm going to live here? Even if I have millions of billions of dollars, all I can eat is 3-4 chapatis and 1 sabji or something like that. Even though I have billions of dollars or whatever I have, if I don't have a proper sleep, what is the use of all this? If I am contracted with so many diseases, what is the problem with all that? That's what we can see in this world. People have so much of it, and then they just misuse it, and they're all having problems and problems and problems on top of problems. But Gadanath Maharaj was one time saying that now there are people in the Bombay, especially in these big cities, and they don't have even so much of busy schedules. Their life, they leave early in the morning and come in the late in the night. Little they have some time to spend themselves and so many things, and they can't even sleep, have a proper sleep. But on the other hand, the temples, the brahmacharis on the Juhu temple, they eat little, maybe 3-4, the chapatis and 1 sabji, some little dal. They're so happy. As soon as they get into the bed 8:39, they have such a wonderful sleep. Nobody else can imagine. This is the life that when we have, the simple living and high thinking. So who can have the simple living? When a person have in very humble in nature and seeing Krishna in everything, Krishna good in everything, seeing positive mentality for others. Only those people can live happily in this world. Otherwise, always, there will be sharp arrows from all the directions that it spears him within different directions. Yeah, it's a very important topic that how we can come out all these anarthas is gradually, slowly, while chanting, while engaging the devotional service, slowly we can come out of this anartha nivurti stage. So we should practice, we should endeavor for all this. And then we should be, I was listening this one actually. One should not speak too much of, so many of whatever, just, these are all the things, right? That which we should not too much envy, somebody else is doing it, okay, let me also do it. Or somebody else is, let me also speak on it. And somebody else is doing that, okay, let me do that. Or somebody else is doing something, or he got so much of name and fame, let me do that. Somebody else is doing this one, let me do that way. No, actually, these are all, the various ways that it affects us in this material nature. These all material qualities. Rather, we should be very focused. First of all, after all, we hearing this Bhagavad Gita, it's 18th chapter, we're pretty close to that. So we should be pretty much some understanding of what is the art of living, how we can live in this world. Not too much of speech or indulging in so much of worldly things or talking and unnecessary talking, prajalpas, and these are all affecting. One is related to all of them. That, some people have a habit of simply talking about somebody else. They don't even talk about themselves. Always talking about somebody else. Where it's come from? Envy, jealousy, all these things, right? Because of, they were talking bad about a lot of things. Talking bad about, these are where it's come from. All these are anarthas. Putting ourselves in such a way that boasting ourselves. These are all anarthas, these are material qualities, demoniac qualities. A Krishna conscious person who is chanting the holy name should always guard against these anarthas. Srila Prabhupada says in the 10 offenses, must guard against all these anarthas. That means how we can do that? Satsang, association of the devotees, like-minded devotees, hearing always and putting ourselves in that center. We should always remember that I'm a devotee. I'm practicing devotee, not a devotee, but I'm a practicing devotee. I should become one day become a pure devotee. So I should stay away from all these anarthas. That will only help us. That will only help me. That will only pleases Krishna. Everything else is pleases demons, not Krishna. So we can think about which category we need to be, in the demons category or in the Krishna's category. So Srila Prabhupada was very keen on giving us all this. We should always conscious of this. Stay away from all this, unnecessary, unwanted thing, and just put yourself, in such a way that I don't want to get into any of this thing. All at the end of the time, what is matter is that how much degree that we served Krishna and how much love we developed for Krishna. That's all matters, nothing else. Always remember that. Yep. Okay. So Ashish Prabhu replied he could hear it. Okay, great. Okay, thank you so much. So anything else? Anybody else would like to add? Okay, otherwise let's conclude today's session. Thank you, dear devotees. Thank you, Govardhan Bhakta Prabhu. Vancha kalpatarupasya kripa sindhu bhavacha Paditanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo
Namo Namaha.
Vaishnavruddha
Jai.
Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Lord Vaishnavruddha ki jai.
Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Hari.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, everybody. Hari Bol.
Thank you.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.